Hi guys, welcome to Next Step with Cherry. So I'm really excited because I know that not all of us want to go through the study pathway or the job seeker pathway, as well as the work, as well as like find a job in Europe, which seem to be a bit hard. So there are countries that are making changes in their immigration system and immigration policy to allow non-EU citizens to be able to reside in those countries and also find a job if necessary, or like live their life or even study if necessary, and Spain is one of them. And we have looked a lot about countries that are providing something like job seeker visa or like other type of visas that will allow you to move to those countries. But in Spain, there were changes that were made around ending of last year, beginning of this year, somewhere around that, for student visa, for tourist visa, for two other new visas, which we are going to look at today. And this one visa that I'm going to focus more on, you can actually move with your family, and then this visa is for 1 year, and you can renew it for another two, that is 4 years total, and then you can be able to qualify for your permanent residency. So that is something closer to the Portugal visa as well, the Portugal D7 visa. And I'm going to give you all the requirements. I'm going to suggest some Spanish accredited immigration agencies for you if you want to use them, so that they can as well help to fasten your process, or like help you with gathering your documents and everything that is needed, so you can be able to get this visa. So if you're looking at moving to Europe with your family and you're finding it difficult finding a job or something like that, then you can consider all these pathways. So without wasting much time, let us go straight to what we have. But guys, please remember to click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and also please share this video with your friends that are in Europe that have visitor visa and want to convert it to, or want to switch to either work visa or student visa, as well as you that is also planning, or your family that are planning to move to Europe and also looking for this kind of opportunities. So guys, please help me to share this video because it helps our channel to grow. So without wasting much time, let us go straight to what we have. In the beginning of this year or somewhere last year, previously we know that in Spain it is a bit difficult to transition from study visa to work visa because of lack of adequate post-study visa for international students. But now there have been changes. There were changes that were made in the study pathway, which increases the work hours of students to like 30 hours per week. And you know that even in Spain, when you are working, there are 2 hours of break every day. So I mean, if you calculate it, it is also 30 hours, almost 35 hours. That is the full-time job in Spain. So that also has been changed, and also the post-study visa also have been increased, and also the fact that students can now easily switch to work visa when they find an employment, a full-time employment in a Spanish company, with also some regulation that are put in place. But yeah, then another thing about it is the tourist visa. So if you get a 90 days Schengen tourist visa and you want to change it to study visa, most thing that people do is to use the language schools. So there are like language schools, like language universities or language schools that are accredited by the government, which can help you to change your tourist visa or help you to apply for resident permit. So when you are going, please make sure that your boarding pass, you are still with it. That is your flight ticket and everything. You are still with it. The stamp, make sure there is a stamp that any country that you enter through, let be Italy, France, Sweden, any country that is your first country, if it is not Spain, make sure that the stamp is there, because you are also going to submit it. And if you live in any accommodation, make sure that they register your name and everything, so that you can, it will help you to prove like the date that you arrive Spain and all those things, because there is no stamp. If you are moving from France to Spain, there will be no stamp in Spain, since they have already stamped it in France. So they will know the exact date that you entered Spain. So now you will go to the language schools that are accredited by the government, and you have to study for 20 hours per week. And then these language schools, there are also some requirements they will require from you, which include criminal records. So make sure that you'll be going with your criminal record or your police character report from your home country if you are traveling and you want to be able to switch it. So make sure that you go with that criminal record. You will need private health insurance. You will need, you also need, I think you will need the accommodation. You will need, I think you also need to provide bank. You also need to prove your bank that you have enough money in Spain, or I think in Spain or outside your country, but they recommend mainly in Spain. You need to bring the money in Spain. So you also need to prove that around 7,200 euros. And also there are other requirements that they will tell you, the school is going to tell you, and then you see if it is something you want to do. You can easily submit that, and then they will help you to apply for the resident permit. So with this resident permit, you are eligible as a student to work and also study, and once you find a full-time job, you are also eligible to move over to work resident permit. So that is how it works with this tourist visa, if you have the tourist visa. So then we move over to the next visa, which I'm going to focus on, and that is the NLV visa. So that is non-lucrative visa or non-working visa. So this visa is related or is close to the Portugal D7 visa. Yes. So this particular visa, it allows you to move to Spain without job offer, and it is extendable to like 4 years, 2 + 2, and you can move with your family at the same time. So you can apply for it for that with your family at the same time. So, but there are also some requirements that are needed for this visa, which we are going to go through, and I will also suggest accredited immigration agency in Spain, which you can talk with if you are planning to move with this visa, and they will as well guide you. But the information I'm going to give is more of general information. Please, I will suggest that you reach out to the Spanish embassy in your country and ask them to forward to you the document, like the PDF that have the requirement for the non-lucrative visa for your country citizens, so that you will see if there is any different and if there is any special thing that you need to prove. So when you extend it, you can now be able to work. And then in that 1 year, you only need to be in Spain for about 6 months or so, if like about 180 days or something like that. I'm going to keep the link in the description. You are not required to be like the whole 1 year. So you can only be in a specific amount of time. So, but if you want to be, you can as well be there. Okay, so what are the requirements that are needed and who can apply for this visa? If you are above 18 years, you can apply. You can be the main applicant for this visa. But we are going to focus more first on the financial requirements, which is very, very important. So for the first applicant, you need to prove at least 28,000 to 30,000 euros. That is the coverage of your wages for 1 year. Yeah, so that is like your wages for 1 year. So this particular proof of fund, it will not come from your employment. It will not come from an active employment. So it's either coming from a rent, like a savings, or a passive income. So passive income is something that you are doing by the side. It's not like your main job. So that includes if you have a rent, if you have an apartment that you rent out and you are getting money from there, or you prove that this is money that you've been getting from that apartment and you've saved it up, something like that. Or if you've sold land, that is your land properties. If you've sold those land, your properties, or if you have a dividend from your company, like if you have some sort of investment also, and some money from your company, you can as well use that to prove your fund. And it can also come from pensions and annuities and royalties, and like a lot of things that are for more of passive income, which means that you are not actively working in that area, or that is your savings. And you also need to prove that, like, where these savings are from. So I would recommend that you talk to an immigration officer in Spain, and they will like give you the details of where this money can actually come from. Tax return is also recommended, and is also, you can as well use that. Now, another thing is that if you have a company, then if you're applying for this and you prove that the money is from your company, you need to prove that you will stop working with your company once you get to Spain. So it's either that you've handed over to someone else, or someone else is now managing the company, and you'll be getting some sort of amount of money from there, but you are not actively working in that company. So they mentioned that you can bring this from a letter. You have to write a letter and you have to notarize that letter. You also need to go to the Ministry of Labor or something like that. They have to write a letter proving that you will no longer be working in your company, and also you have to go to court and notarize it. So with that statement, they will know that you have a company and you make money from that company, but you will no longer be working in that company. That is for people that have companies. And then if you have savings, maybe from your, like I said, rental properties, like sold properties, you also bring it and bring evidence of the savings and the sold properties. So you need to prove a criminal record or police character report of at least 5 years, that you are clean for 5 years. So that also is very, very essential. And you also need to notarize it at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as well as the Spanish Embassy in your country. And then you as well need to provide the medical certificate. So this medical certificate needs to prove that you don't have any disease, any communicable disease or transferable disease, and also immunization. You are immunized and all those things. And also you need to provide private health insurance. This is very important. This is not the international insurance that you buy in your home country or you buy online or elsewhere. It needs to be from a Spanish insurance provider, and you need to pay everything in full for 1 year. So this insurance ranges from about 70 euro to probably 150 euro per month, and then you need to calculate it per your family if you are moving with your family. So I'll also keep the list of some private insurance, or you can as well ask the immigration agency, the accredited immigration agency. They will also provide one for you. And then another thing that you will need to provide, this ranges from people. So I would advise you that you send an email to the Spanish consulate or Spanish embassy in your country and ask them to send you the PDF that contains the non-lucrative visa information, so that you will cross-check it and know the ones that are needed for your country. So some country will need you to have, because when you are filling the form, you need to fill an address in Spain. If you are using accredited agency, they might use their own address for you, or they will tell you what to do. But in some cases, the country will require you, the embassy in your country will require you to provide 12 months contract with that housing contract in Spain. Or some will require you to have 30 days or like 6 months or like 3 months. So that is why you need to confirm with your embassy. So now you can, if it is paid rental insurance, then it has to be paid. But in some cases you can get with booking. So more of like rental and then like free cancellation, the one that you pay and you can easily cancel it once after submitting and everything, and like during the date of it. But you need to make sure that it will not affect your visa. So that also is something that you need to look into. And then if you are moving with your family, you also need to provide the marriage certificate and also the birth certificate of your family, your children. You as well need to provide that. And then the valid passport, at least 1 year. It needs to be at least more than 1 year so that you can get the 1 year visa. So how it works is that once you apply for this visa, it takes roughly 2 to 12 weeks for the embassy to process everything, and they will tell you if they need extra documents. And once you get your visa, you move to Spain immediately. So once you move to Spain, you have to open a bank, you have to get your NIE, the tax thing, and then you have to go to the police to register yourself, and after which register yourself and everything. I think after which 3 months, between 2 to 3 months, you can go back and to that place that you register yourself to collect your resident permit. But like I mentioned, you can stay for 180 days or so, and if you want, you can even move to other European country if you find a job in other European country or something like that. So you can use it to also move to other European country. So this visa is for people that think maybe this is what you would want to go for, or you want to go with the tourist visa and then change it to study or work visa, or you want to go with the digital nomad visa, and then you can, I don't know if you can be able to switch the digital nomad visa. I don't really know about that. Or if you want to go with a study visa, or one of my subsequent videos, I'm going to talk about how you can move to Spain with the study pathway, which have tuition of about, I think, 800 euros per year. So I'm going to also emphasize on that, and I'm going to as well tell you the visa process and all the documents that you need to go with and every detail about that. So please remember to to share this video and click the like button, because we've come to the end of the video. And please tell me if this visa looks good for you, and if it is something you would want to like research more about, or you want to go with, or you want to go for. Because like I said, you can easily move to Portugal with it, and if you find a job, you can also switch to work visa, but you cannot work in Spanish territory. So that is how this visa works. So guys, all the links that I've talked about, it will be in the video description. And please remember to share this video, and also click the like button and subscribe to my channel. So see you guys on my next video. Bye.